Nope, don't mind Appel.
I do get like which words, and there's like different words for different seasons.
But I am leading
You're
the
leading
audience.
it, yeah. But it's awkward
That's
if I
fine.
don't sing
Okay.
it right.
Just have that open for our bat mitzvah student. Mhm. Hmm.
So if there's stuff that, like, stuff that I'm not reading, should I turn my microphone?
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Rabbi Batsheva Appel. I'm delighted to be here with you the Shabbat after Thanksgiving, which probably should have its own special name. Rabbi Berezin and Cantor Alexander are on much needed vacations and visiting with family during the Thanksgiving holiday. I am delighted to be sharing the bima this evening with the multi-talented Sarah Cowan, who's going to do all of the singing tonight. Well, most of the singing tonight. I will say the better singing tonight will come from Sarah Cowan. And I want to say welcome not only to the people who are in the sanctuary this evening, but to everybody who is joining us on Zoom. We'll begin by welcoming you all here. Baruch atah b'vo'echa uvaruch atah b'tzeitecha.
Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be when you enter in. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be when you choose to go. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be in the here and now. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be forevermore. Baruch atah b'vo'echa, u'baruch atah b'tzeitecha. 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 Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be when you enter in. Blessed, 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 blessed will you be when you choose to go. Blessed, 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 blessed where you live and where you love. Blessed, 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 blessed where you learn and where you pray. Baruch atah b'vo'echa, u'baruch atah b'tzeitecha. Baruch atah b'vo'echa, u'baruch atah b'tzeitecha.
I'd like to invite Brooklyn Armstrong to please come up to light our Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. So we continue now, having marked the beginning of Shabbat. We continue now with actually making that transition into Shabbat. As much as we want it to be Friday, as much as we want to be here on Zoom or present in the sanctuary, it is still a matter of making that actual transition. I'm going to invite you to settle yourselves comfortably wherever it is that you're seated, whether here or virtually, and that includes perhaps uncrossing your legs, uncrossing your arms, sitting up straight, because whatever family member ever looked at you and said, sit up straight, it'll be easier for you to breathe, sadly, they were correct. I know when people tell us stuff like that, we're like, really? And then it turns out that they're right. And then I would invite you to set an intention for this Shabbat. What is your intention for this time that we are setting aside each week? It's your intention to encounter the holiness of Shabbat that echoes the holiness of that seventh day of the very first week. It's your intent to continue to spend time with friends, with family, with community, being able to draw out a visit that you have with your family from Thanksgiving yesterday or from Friendsgiving yesterday. Is perhaps your intention this week to continue with gratitude and to think about all the things that you're grateful for. Whatever your intention might be, I invite you, if you're comfortable in doing so, to close your eyes and to take 3 deep breaths, letting them out slowly, and to set that intention. We continue as we welcome Shabbat in song, saying, let us go and meet the bride. Let us go and greet Shabbat. We continue together, and so we understand that ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. They go about their tasks in holy anonymity, even unknown to themselves. Yet, if they had not been there, if they had not said what they said or did what they did, it would not be the way it is now. We would not be the way we are now. Never forget that you too yourself may be a messenger, perhaps even one whose errand extends over several lifetimes.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borechem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei
I invite those who are comfortable in doing so to please rise as we continue with the Baruch Hu.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Margot, come on up. We continue now with our Ma'ariv Aravim. Please join together with me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Bore yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tzevaot shemo, El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. I aspire to an eloquent seeing of all earth's seasons, an inspired touching of flesh, true hearing of flesh, flower, and stone, true hearing of others, journey, self, and terrain, the difficult dignity of individual thought, an inner burning of commandment, a sometimes certainty of divine presence, weaving of sorrow into becoming, upswelling of seated but surprising joy, into this life courageously toward the unknown purpose. We remain standing for the Shema, followed by the V'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated.
Marco.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'otecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochmecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We read responsively by paragraph. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele, malechutecha ra'uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zeli anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch, leolam vaed. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Ufros alenu sukat shlomecha. Ufros alenu sukat shlomecha. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps, and help me make this day a song of praise to you. Rock me in your arms and guide my steps.
Prayer invites. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. B'nei Uven, B'nei Yisrael, B'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. V'shamru B'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Vayom hashvi, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. As we move into the Amidah, the standing prayer, I invite all those who are comfortable in doing so to please rise. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fia ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Agadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevei Geula Livnei V'neihem,
למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעלוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We pray individually, and when you feel that you are done with your prayers, please be seated.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata melech adon lechol Shalom, ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Etov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav
We continue now with prayers that we offer on behalf of those who are in need of healing. Healing of body, healing of spirit. If you are keeping somebody in mind for healing on this Shabbat, there will be time for you to add their name to our prayers. As a congregational community, we are keeping in mind Susan Alexander, Doris and Harry Alloy, Virginia Becker, Tony Beraldi, Jean Brosco, Lisa Brunkhorst, Hildardo Carrera, Sandy Christofferson, Edward Cohn, Kevin Cooper, Judy Cooper, Manuel Delgadillo, Ariana Elness, Pamela Fox, Rabbi Sim Glazer, Jody Goldstein, Milo Goodman, Robbie Hoskovic, Judy Kyman, Karen Levine, Mike Liddy, Mario Lopez, Gary Marshall, Dan Mass, Emily McWhirter, Brian Nog, Pedro Comi Olimpio, Nadine Ostro, Karen Euler, Wendy Passer, Jamie Poole, Linda Redler, Steve Redler, Emily Sachs, George Sachs, Gregory Sachs, Steve Seglin, Max Shapiro, Linda J. Sherman, Dee Dee Spiegel, Sarah Jane Tietzel, Coralie Thomas, Laura J. West, Barb Wigg, Brent Wine, Kate Ewell. Again, if you are listening on Zoom and would like somebody's name to be included, please put it in the chat now. Are there people that we keep in mind for people who are in the sanctuary? In addition, we keep in mind Jane Bashir, John Hansen, Brian Cerberus, Alan, for those that we've named and those that we keep close in our hearts, we say this prayer.
Mekor
Despite the fact that they are twins, it is easy to see Esau and Jacob as complete opposites. Esau is hairy and Jacob is smooth. Esau is a skillful hunter, a man of the outdoors, and Jacob is a mild man who stays in camp. Isaac loves Esau because he likes to eat game, and Rebekah loves Jacob. We can easily construct a picture of two men who are so different, it is hard to imagine them as brothers, let alone twins. In our mind's eye, we see Esau and Jacob as twins who are as dissimilar as Vito and Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Twins. And once we characterize them in that way, then it becomes automatic to make Esau the villain of the story and Jacob the hero. However, if we look closely at both men, the contrast becomes less stark. We can have the tendency to see Jacob as the less physical of the twins, someone who is bullied by Esau, but Jacob is as much of a fighter as Esau. When the twins are fighting so much in the womb that Rebekah must inquire of God, both of them are fighting. Even at birth, they are fighting, and there is the sense that Jacob is only barely edged out to be firstborn. At the age of 60 years old, when Jacob's name is changed to Israel, he will fight all night so fiercely that even with a severe injury to his hip, he wins. Jacob is the one who is known for staying in camp, yet he's the one who leaves home. And it is Esau who takes care of their elderly parents for the rest of their lives. Keep in mind, Isaac will live for another 80 years after Jacob leaves. Esau is a skillful hunter, but it is Jacob who is the more successful trapper and hunter in this week's Torah portion, Parashat Toldot. A successful trapper must have a great deal of patience, know the appropriate lure for the animal that he is stalking, as well as its pattern of behavior, and be ready to make the most of an opportunity. Esau comes home from hunting famished, unaware that he is about to be the prey, and it just so happens that Jacob is cooking a red lentil stew. In a matter of a few sentences, Esau has exchanged his birthright for a bowl of soup with some bread and something to drink. Jacob knew what Esau's patterns were, and he knew Esau would want some food when he returned from hunting. He probably was cooking the lentil stew because a stew would be something that would hold for a long time, since he could not know exactly when his brother would come home. Jacob uses the skills of a trapper to get exactly what he wants from his older brother, the birthright. When it comes to wresting Esau's blessing from their father, Isaac, Jacob again utilizes the skills of a hunter. His objection to Rebekah's plan is an analysis of the weaknesses of her suggestion, not a protest that he could never do such a thing. When it comes right down to it, Jacob is very willing to disguise himself in his brother's clothes so that he smells like his brother, to wear patches of goat skin so that he feels like his brother to the touch, to answer Isaac's question as if he were Esau, to obtain his brother's blessing from their father. Again, he is using the skills of a hunter. He changes his appearance, he changes his smell, provides the appropriate lure, goat stew, and takes advantage of the opportunity of his brother's hunting trip. When we look at any biblical personality as a caricature, instead of examining all the intricacies of who they are, we lose some of the richness of the narrative. Esau is not the villain. Jacob is not the villain. The twins share many traits, good and bad, and both are complex characters. We will never include Esau, or Ishmael for that matter, in the first prayer of the Amidah when we speak of the unique relationship God had with our ancestors. But we can make sure that we know more about them and learn from their lives, just as we learn from the lives of Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, and Jacob and Leah and Rachel. I invite all those who are comfortable in doing so to please rise as we begin to conclude our service.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם מחלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We come to the point in our service, a time of remembering and memory. And in truth, we remember those that we mourn. At other times, besides saying Kaddish at our service, it might have felt more tangible yesterday when we were at Thanksgiving meals or not at Thanksgiving meals, when the food that we associated with them was there or not there. We might think of them on some random Tuesday afternoon at 3:11 p.m., just because they come to mind. And they're not so distant, and we do not forget them, but we do remember them formally at this moment of saying the Kaddish prayer. As we say this prayer, I invite those who are, as we prepare to say the prayer, I invite those who are on Zoom to put the names of anyone that they are remembering in the chat. And I invite anybody in our sanctuary to please stand up if I read the name of somebody that you are remembering in particular this Shabbat. We are in the period of Shiva, the first 7 days of mourning for Leora Lucille Becker. We are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Irving E. Kaminsky, Robert L. Weinstein, Natalie E.Y., Ralph Jerome Post. And we remember the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of Julius Abramson, Abe Herman Brodke, R. Max Kanar, Lieutenant Irving Cohen, Alice Galinsky Cohn, Anthony Michael Crabb, Melvin Freeman, Rose Ginsburg, Geraldine Jerry Wine Gray, Joy Monsky Grossman, Sally M. Hartung, Harry Heyman, Al Hoffman, Melvin Katz, Philip Ostrovich, Joe M. Rice, Dr. Charles Rosewater, Fanny Rosinski, Shayna Gwen Sachs, Pearl Schultz, Johanna Seligson, Doretta Galinsky Shafton, Ben F. Schreier, Pauline Solomon, Marlon Somberg, Alan Michael Soshnick, Barbara Perlman Soshnick, Herman Spire, Lori Harris Sweet, Eleanor A. Whitman. There are others that we remember on this Shabbat, so I invite you to stand and say their names. The memories of all of them are with us, and our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we recite the prayer of Kaddish together, and I invite all who are comfortable in doing so to please stand in support of all who are in mourning. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, V'chayechon uvyomechon uchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam olmei olmaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha purichuhu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, Da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom nimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, Amen. Please be seated. I would like to begin with thanks. I would like to thank our amazing musicians, Sarah and Julie. Thank you so much for everything that you added to this service. And as I said, Sarah is multi-talented, and you'll see why in just a moment. I would like to thank the folks. I'm going to ask the board members to stand up, and you're a board member. Didn't mean to take you off guard
that's
like
okay.
that.
I was trying to figure out what kind of tricks I was going to do.
You're good, you're good. I'd like to thank the folks in the back of the house, which includes Scott and Ed. I would like to thank Nate for doing the tech tonight, Mindy for her hospitality, Marcus for security, our ONIG volunteer, Gail Knapp, and our Zoom maven, yes, it's an actual title, Karen Euler. I would like to start off by asking all board members present to please stand and wave, and you will notice that they're wearing name tags. And if you have a question for them, or a comment for them, or just would like to meet them, please do. We are excited to announce that we will be having an artist in residence during the first weekend of December, which, believe it or not, is next weekend. Yahala Lachmish is an Israeli cantor of Middle Eastern descent and a modern paitanit, which is a poetess. On December 4th, she will be offering an educational opportunity about piyutim, liturgical poetry, from around the world. This event is in collaboration with Bethel. Yahala Lachmish will lead worship for Shabbat at Bethel. There will also be a Shabbat morning service and a concert on Saturday evening. And keep in mind, the concert and Havdalah Saturday evening take place here at Temple Israel. So part of the weekend is at Beth El, part of it is here. Go to all of the events, but 2 of them are here, which should make it easier because everybody has a car that has autopilot, right? Another reason to come to the building on December 4th will be our blood drive, which we are hosting from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Youth learning programs are on Thanksgiving break. There is no Sunday programming this weekend. We will have a representative from Asrui at Hebrew School on November 30th to discuss summer camp opportunities. There is also a Camp Sabra event at the Lukoff's home on December 8th. We will have more camp information visits coming. Come for the lights, laughs, and latkes. Join us for First Night, First Light, the main event of Hanukkah at Temple Israel. We will be hosting dinner, followed by a candle lighting and a comedy show. Big Canvas Comedy will entertain us with a short-form improv comedy show. We will have Hanukkah games for everyone, from kids to adults, with prizes. Please bring your personal menorah and some candles for candle lighting, and please RSVP by December 11th. Also, we will be gathering a gift of winter gear. We are partnering with Together Incorporated. We are looking for new and gently used warm weather gear, coats, hats, gloves, scarves, etc. Donations will be accepted here at Temple Israel from December 5th through the 20th. We are going to continue now with our Kiddush and our Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei puri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu. V'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon inchilanu. Zikaron lemase bereshit, ki hu yom techila lamikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu vacharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol Shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. Always so interesting that we thank God for bringing forth the grapes of the vine, and then we thank God for bringing forth bread from the earth, when we all know that bread, we do not, dig in the earth and find some bread. Have a piece?
Oh, right.
There we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'am. Okay. If I remember correctly, there's one more slide. Yes, there is one more slide. Look at that. Please join us as we sing Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimrama, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalelu ve'akol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'akol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'akol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Mute.